Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 16 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Discount Tire 400 here at Iowa Speedway, as we are set to go 45 laps of racing here at probably one of the best short tracks in the history of racing. And we should be in for quite an interesting race, to say the very least. But before we look at the starting lineup, first I want to say thank you guys for your patience after a 1-week hiatus. I've been busy with work, but I got the weekend off to try and get some races done for you guys. But let's take a look at the point standings as they are coming into the race today. So after the last race we ran, which was I believe New Hampshire, Joshua Sekuli leads by 3 points over both William Brock and Chris Dollerton. Rest of the top 10, however, 4th is Sean Galligan, 5th James Quall, 6th James McLeod, 7th Trent Dunham, 8th Dylan Thoreau, 9th Peachy London, and then 10th Dylan Poteet. And then the two for the top 12, Dylan Young and Matt McIntyre. Currently the wildcard drivers are Zach Flickinger with 2 wins, and Kyle Matthews for being the highest inside the top 30, outside the top 12 in points, with 1 win, but still plenty of time for drivers to get some wins to get into the chase, whether it be top 12 in points or a wild card spot. But let's look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row is Zachary Fitzwater, Trent Dunham. Top 10, Dylan Jacobs is on the pole for tonight. Starting next to him is Carson Gum. Row 2 is Sean Galligan, Jay Jefferson. Row 4, Dylan Poteet, William Brock. Or row 3, Dylan Poteet, William Brock. Row 4, Tim Fiegel, Matt Haas. And then row 5, Alex Drayton and Patrick Smith. With that said, let's get the command to fire engines for the Discount Tire 400 at Iowa.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 42 cars rolling on the racetrack for their 1 pace lap around here. Now this race should definitely be interesting because there have been some I&I changes to this racetrack and some opponent strength changes, so we shall see how the racing is going to be here at Iowa this time around. Pace car in the pit road. And boogity, 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 let's go racing. Well, Dylan Jacobs led the first lap, but man, they're going blazing fast. Look at the speeds they're going. Almost 170 miles an hour, a little over 170, and the slowest they go is about 155. So these guys are really putting the pedal to the metal with this brand new package here at Iowa. Dylan Jacobs may have some competition coming up as Sean Galligan's working his way up to the back bumper of the 78. And you can definitely tell he is closing in. And look at Tim Fiegel up to 3rd already. And he's closing the gap on the top 2. Meanwhile, we got a great battle going on already for the 4th position between DJ Curtis, Dylan Poteet, in a battle to see which lane gets the bigger run. Right now, they're kind of relatively even, although you carry more speed on the outside. But the momentum definitely goes to the guys on the bottom lane. As you can tell right there, DJ Curtis kept the momentum and has got to 4th as the caution is out for the first time. As we're coming to the line and it's 40 laps to go, let's see what happened. Oh, we got one car come very destroyed, and that's Matt McIntyre James Qualls was involved in whatever this was, so we might have had a two-car accident take place. Although we got a stack up, a couple cars are going to be damaged goods now because they just started stacking up. But it looks like the leaders are going to come into pit road, so we're going to see some pit strategy go on. And I'm looking around, and man, they're three wide against each other trying to get into the pits. This will not end well, and it cannot end well. Excuse me. As I'm looking up to Dylan Jacobs to see who is going to come out first out of pit road. As I hear some contact with some cars on pit road. And Dylan Jacobs looks like just 2 tires and gas. Then Sean Galligan, DJ Curtis, Seth Cole, and Rafael Leduc will be the top 5 when we get back to racing. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Iowa. Well, here's a look at what happened. As right there you see Jake Baskinger. It looks like he tries to give room to Benjamin Miles, but I thought he gave him plenty enough room to not get up into the wall. And then Baskinger comes down in front of James Qualls, and it gets Qualls into McIntyre. And then McIntyre comes back up, collects Qualls, and Matt McIntyre goes for an unbelievably hard hit into the outside safer barrier with the driver's side. As let's look at the impact he makes. He hits that outside wall at about 125 miles an hour and then got crunched by Qualls as Qualls comes up into the outside wall. So basically this wreck started because Jake Baskinger was trying to give room to 3 wide drivers, but got up into the wall and then got off the wall and came down into James Qualls, and it forced Qualls into the 32, and then the 32 loses control, comes back up and collects the 70, and they both go for hard hits. But with that said, let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Iowa. So after that first caution, we have 2 cars out of the race, and they include James Qualls and Matt McIntyre. But everybody did come into pit road, although a lot of positions shuffled because some cars went with 2 tires, some went with 4. But the leader's still the same. Dylan Jacobs is your leader. Second is Sean Galligan. Third is DJ Curtis. 4th, Seth Cole. 5th, Rafael Leduc. 6th, Tim Fiegel. 7th, James Shelley. 8th is Patrick Smith. 9th, Carson Gum. 10th is Zach Flickinger. Then the rest of the top 20 is Dylan Potee, Jessica Sheldon, William Brock, Cody Lamas, Preston Ford, Jay Jefferson, Charles Sanford, Matt Haas, Dylan Thoreau, Dylan Young, and then it's Joshua Sekuli, Pichu London, Kyle Matthews, no, that's DJ Curtis, never mind. And then you got Johnny Gardner, Chris Dollerton, Zachary Fitzwater, and then everybody else. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've recorded a race, so it's going to take me some getting used to again. But what in the world is going on with Dylan Jacobs? He's coming into pit road again. Did they not get all the gas in the car or something? I don't know. Or this could be strategy. I don't know, but I don't know if that was a very smart move. But we got a new leader, and that's Alex Drayton. But now Rafael Leduc is going to take the spot. Keep our eyes on the 78 and see what's going to happen with him on this pit stop. Perhaps an unscheduled stop. Looks like he's going with just gas. But that'll put him a lap down, so he's going to have to hope that this race continues on in the way it's been going, so that way everyone else who has to come into pit road, he can try and get back on the lead lap that way, and then if a quick caution were to come out during those pit stops, he could cycle back around where he was earlier. So I don't know if it was an unscheduled stop or if it's strategy on the part of the 78. Nonetheless, his teammate Rafael Leduc is in the lead, and then affiliate teammate James Shelley in second. Although that may not last because Tim Fiegel is right on the back bumper of the 71. As meanwhile, battle raging on for 4th. Patrick Smith underneath of Sean Galligan. Alex Drayton trying to follow suit. Meanwhile, battle between affiliate teammates. James Shelley out of Back Marker Motorsports and Rafael LeDuc for Furniture Row Racing, but they're both very close teammates out of affiliation. But Shelley has the lead for now, but Tim Fiegel is still right on the back bumper of the 71. And then you got the battle on for 4th still going on. This time Patrick Smith and Alex Drayton are going at it. Alex Drayton right now the highest running rookie, up in 3rd as he's now taken that spot from Rafael LeDuc as LeDuc got forced on the outside and lost a couple spots, but now he's going to try and reel back in on the bottom underneath the 14 of Alex Drayton. Can he get the run off the corner? Doesn't look like he gets it. Perhaps, well, actually no, Alex Drayton did restart in the top 5. I was thinking perhaps there were some cars that took 4 tires and are able to get a big enough run. That or the 77 just slipped up in the corner and now he's making up ground again. There's Dylan Jacobs, who came in the pit road just after the restart. And like I said, he is hoping that the race stays green for a while until everyone comes in the pit road and he could stay out. And then if he wants any extra help, caution to come out during those pit stops, and if he were back on the lead lap, he'd cycle back around properly on the lead lap. Meanwhile, battle still going on for the lead. James Shelley still trying to hold off a charging Tim Fiegel, and Tim Fiegel tried to go on the outside to get some air, but it ended up costing him a little bit, and now Rafael LeDuc's reeling back in the 8 car. Meanwhile, Alex Drayton and Sean Galligan go at it for the 4th position, and Seth Cole's thinking, you know what? I've got a bumper too. I want to play this game with you guys. Jessica Sheldon, first time we've talked about her all night. She's up here in the top 10 trying to get into the top 5. As this race just continues to zip along. Meanwhile, Rafael LeDuc has got Alex Drayton on his back bumper again. Man, these two have been battling virtually ever since the restart came out. Meanwhile, Tim Fiegel is did kind of back off the 71 for a little bit, but now he's reeling back into 71. Perhaps if these two start to go side by side, that will help to bring everyone else up to those guys for a bigger battle for the lead. And yeah, officially Dylan Jacobs is a lap down, the only car a lap down. Although here comes more cars in the pit road. I saw Fitzwater and Dunham come in, but it looks like they went with gas only as well. Looking around to see if anybody else was in there with them. I don't think anybody else did, although Sean Galligan's pulling down into pit road. First of the top 5 cars to come into pit road in this run. That did kind of cause a shake-up in the field quite a good bit. And what in the world? Fitzwater and Trent Dunham, they're coming back in. And Shelley nearly got the pit wall because he had to go on the outside of Trent Dunham. But they go with gas only again. I don't know, maybe they just didn't get all the gas in the car or something. I'm not entirely sure. Looking around to see who was the leader at the line. I believe it was Charles Sanford. But now the lead gets handed over, I believe, to Joshua Sekuli for the time being. And there's Dylan Jacobs, who is still a lap down currently. But yeah, he's definitely hoping the rest of them come into pit road. And then he was hoping and praying for another caution to come out, so that way once he gets back on the lead lap, he can stay on the lead lap. And also it can help him come down the pit road to top off on gas, but something is wrong with the 91 and the 1 cars. They keep coming in the pit road, and every pit stop they've been getting gas only. And Trent Dunham's out of the race for apparently no fuel. What in the world happened? Trent Dunham came in the pit road twice and got gas. How is he out of gas? I do not understand what in the world has happened here tonight. I seriously don't understand. But according to scoring, the lead is handed back over to Dylan Jacobs, but he's going to have to come into pit road before the race is over, or he's going to try and stretch it out. I don't know. It's going to be a tough task to stretch out 30 laps of gas. But yeah, you can definitely tell he is hoping for a quick caution so he can come in and top off and be good for the rest of the race, or he's going to try and pull out the greatest fuel mileage victory I have ever seen. And right now he's got 11 laps to try and make it through. But it is going to be a tough task. And as I say that, he's coming in. And we are still clean and green, so I believe that's going to hand the lead over to Sean Galligan. Now it's going to be close if the 78 is going to stay on the lead lap. As he's coming in, let's see what he's going for. Looks like he's going to go with gas only. Is he going to be able to stay on the lead lap? Is the big question. And there he is coming out of the pits. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to say the very least. Nope, it looks like he is back to being a lap down. So, tough break for the 78. I'm still not sure how they didn't get all the gas in the car on that first pit stop under caution earlier. But that's what essentially screwed him over from winning this race potentially. Back up at the front of the field, however, Sean Galligan is still your race leader, and he's only leading by less than 0.4 of a second over James Shelley. And then all the way back here, a little over a second back, now less than a second back, is Charles Sanford with Alex Drayton and Jessica Shelton in the top 5. Meanwhile, a battle going on for the 6th position between Zach Flickinger and the points leader, Joshua Sekuli. Meanwhile, looking around the field, and we got 3 wide going on between Richard Johnson, Joshua Collard, and Emmanuel Hartnett. Now, this is towards around mid to end of the field. But we are getting closer and closer to the end of this race. Trying to get back up to the front. When we come across the line, it'll be 3 laps to go here at Iowa. And so far, this has been a great race. A lot of passing and some pit strategy going down. Two laps to go, and James Shelley is making a huge charge to try and get up to the back bumper of the 44. He did cut the lead in less than half, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time, and it's looking like Galligan's pulling away again. As the white flag is displayed, and the lead goes back to being 0.4 of a second. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be a threat to Sean Galligan today. Getting ready to come out of turn 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waving. Sean Galligan wins the Discount Tire 400 at Iowa. Great job for that 44 team, as that will definitely help his chances of getting the points lead out pretty well. But let's look at the rest of the results. James Shelley tried to close in on the 44, but those last couple laps, the 44 was just pulling away from him every chance he got. But still a great run in second nonetheless for the 71. Highest finishing rookie Alex Drayton with a great run in the third position. Jessica Sheldon, solid top 5 run in fourth. And then rounding out the top 5 is her teammate Charles Sanford. Rest of the top 10, Joshua Shakuli with a solid performance in the 6th position. Zach Flickinger with a great run in 7th. Finishing out in 8th is Seth Cole. Solid run in 9th for DJ Curtis. And then rounding out the top 10 is Cody Lamas. Rest of the top 20 was Tim Fiegel, Carson Gum, Kyle Matthews, William Brock, Johnny Gardner, James McLeod, Rafael Leduc, Dylan Young, Jake Baskinger, Phil Parker. Rest of the top 30 was Emmanuel Hartnett, Richard Johnson, Benjamin Miles, Joshua Collard, Patrick Smith, Preston Plord, Jay Jefferson, Dylan Poteet, Jonathan Zorley, Ryan Brommer. Rest of the lead lap cars were Chris Dollarton, Alex Gray, Dougie Shears, Pichu London, Dorian Facepuncher, Dylan Thoreau, and Matt Haas. 2 cars were a lap or more down, Dylan Jacobs and Zachary Fitzwater. 3 cars out of the race due to either bizarre circumstances or wrecks, Trent Dunham, James Qualls, and Matt McIntyre. But that does it for our coverage here today at Iowa Speedway. Next week, we head to Old Spice Raceway for another road course event. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Old Spice. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.